I'm here today at Pro Legal Care, and I'm with attorney Zach Townsend. And you're a regular face on Good Day State Line.
True.
Right,
Guilty as charged.
But you have a special guest with you, so introduce your guest.
Yeah, well, this is the new attorney with our office. Her name is attorney Carrie Johnson. She's got a lot of experience. She's a great addition to our team.
She seems like it. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, is this your first TV interview like this?
It is.
Oh, how exciting! So we're in your conference room today. It's where you work with people when they come in on their legal matters. And I guess I would think that making that first appointment has to be really tough. So is it hard for people to reach out to you to make that call?
I think it is. I think one of the hardest things to do is just find the courage to make that first call and schedule that first appointment, because it's a very daunting process. Mm-hmm. You're expected to come in and share the most personal details about your life. And not only that, but things that might not portray you in the best light, or horrible circumstances you and your family are in. And the important thing to remember about that is the more you tell us, the greater our perspective on the case, the better we can advocate for you. The things you don't share are things we can't prepare for.
What if you're worried hiring a lawyer or going to court might make the problem worse?
I think that is a common misconception that people face, especially in family matters, especially involving children. Being proactive is the only way to protect yourself, to protect your family,
right,
to ensure that the little control that you can give yourself in these situations, mm-hmm, you take the reins and you take that little bit of control by being proactive. It's really the only way to be able to do that.
And if I could interject,
sure.
The control factor is really important, mm-hmm, because that fear of coming here, that fear of getting started is often based on, your spouse or your abuser, if you're in an abusive relationship, telling you things to be manipulative and gaslighting you and saying that, for example, I'm not going to pay child support if I don't get to see my kids. You can't put me on child support. I buy everything that they need anyway. Mm-hmm. Or I'll just quit my job. Or how about this? I'll just sign over my rights. This is all basically your fault. This is basically what you wanted, and they're not going. I'll just make you to be out, like that crazy mom that you
right.
are. I'll bring up that, panic attack that you had a couple years ago to make you look crazy. Mm-hmm. You can't leave. You can't leave without my permission. You leave, you're right. abandoning the house, and you give up your rights to the house, so you can't leave. You can't take my car. That car is in my name. You're not getting any of my retirement. None of that's your money. You're not getting any of that. You can't take my money. It's in my name. That's just manipulative, and it's an effective way for people to control you. And so that's a big part of why it's so scary to come here, and that's why you need professional representation to be able to help you, instead of taking legal advice from your spouse or somebody who's really doesn't have your interest in mind and really don't know what they're talking about anyway.
Is money something that holds people back from calling a lawyer?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Financials are important to everyone all the time, but especially in family proceedings, whether it's dissolution, child support, anything like that. The first thing to remember is the only thing it costs you to call us and come in is your time and that courage, because our consultations are completely free. The next thing to remember is, that friend, like you were saying, who's been through it.
Right.
Her situation or his situation is a lot different than your own. Mm-hmm. So what it cost them or how long it took them is going to be very different than it's going to take you. That's always based on the specific case at hand. It's always about what issues there are, what conflicts there are. The next thing to remember is, if you don't know what an attorney is going to quote you, you can't plan for it. You can't budget for it. You can't go to friends and family and say, hey, I need help with this. This is how much I would need to get started. And again, it's about that control.
Right.
You're putting the reins in your hands to say, okay, this is what I need. Now I can plan for it. We try and be very flexible. We offer a lot of different payment options.
Okay.
So again, just making that first call and coming in doesn't cost you a thing.
But it sounds like making that call gets you so many answers, or gets you just kind of on the path that you need to be on. Instead of that, you're stuck in that frustrative mode.
Right.
So that definitely seems like something people should do. So how can we get in touch with you guys?
Well, you can call us at 815-200-8802. We schedule free consultations.
Okay.
ProLegalCare.com is also a great way to get in touch with us. You can email us. We prefer these initial consultations to be in person. That's the best way to communicate, is in-person communication. It's also a very serious matter. So that's another reason that we prefer this to be in person. But if you have transportation issues, if you have accessibility issues, if there are important reasons why you can't make it, you know, this is the 21st century. We can use technology.
Right.
We can give you a consultation over the phone and let you know what you need to do. But the most important part is to just pick up the phone, call, make the call. That's what you need to do.
Right, right. Well, thank you guys so much. I hope that everybody has seen exactly what needs to be done, and maybe that this will spur someone to make that call that they've not been wanting to make.
Hope so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
After this, we'll learn how the Literacy Council hopes to bring laughs for literacy with the Human Jukebox. Later on, Michelle Markham gets a peek into open world gaming. We'll be right back with more Good Day Stateline.